who earned and held their Bitcoin for 1 year saw an average appreciation of 279%. Those are not your typical credit card points. So if you're interested, click the link in the description down below or go to Gemini.com/Andre to get $200 in Bitcoin when you spend $3,000 in your first 90 days. Thank you, Gemini, for sponsoring this segment. And now let's get back to it. So here is the most powerful narrative of the three. It's the one that appeals to your morality and values, not just as an American, but as a human being. The value of freedom and democracy. This is the part of the story that says, Venezuela is not just a failed economy, it's a dictatorship, and we need to fight for democracy. We need to stand up for people's freedom and their right to vote and their right to live without oppression. It's the kind of story that makes you feel good and noble to support. And that's partially because there's truth to it. Nicolas Maduro has consolidated power. The leaders who opposed him have been arrested. Protesters have been crushed. Elections have been heavily controlled. And there is a long, long history of corruption. Those things are all very real. But here's what's also real. The United States doesn't care about any of that when it happens to countries that support its interests. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Qatar, none of those are democracies, but they are allies. We don't call them dictatorships. We just call them partners. It's very selective in how it goes about it. It's about who's allowed to have power and who's allowed to sell their oil and to whom. Because when a country like Venezuela teams up with countries like China or Russia, then all of a sudden, their elections start to become really important for some reason. All of a sudden, human rights become a priority, and there's an urgency to fix the problem. It's the same pattern we've seen again and again. Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, even Syria. And I remember noticing this first back in 2008.
The more victories you amass, the easier the next victory becomes. The first victory in Afghanistan makes the second victory in Iraq that much easier. The second victory in Iraq will make the third victory that much easier too.
Now looking back at it, it's so obvious how the same story just keeps repeating. The invasion of Iraq, for example, was sold to us partially under the guise of freedom and democracy. Libya, same thing. It was about protecting people from